7C, rates. Now again, we're back to using the slightly different method here because we're going to be dealing with word problems again. So remember, rates are ratios or special fractions that represent the relationship between two things measured in different units. Okay, that's going back to what was covered in 7B. Example of that, 55 miles per hour. We're relating 55 miles to 1 hour. That's a rate. Miles being one unit, hour being a different unit. That's actually a unit rate, 55 miles per 1 hour. So let's look at a word problem. So Victor earns $13.25 an hour. If he works 32 hours each week, how much money does he make in 4 weeks? Okay, let's shrink this down and we can play with it. So Victor earns $13.25 an hour, and that's a rate, right? $13.25 an hour. So $13.25 per 1 hour. If he works 32 hours each week, how much money does he make in 4 weeks? So let's start by understanding the problem. He has an hourly wage, that's the rate, of $13.25. So $13.25 each hour. He works 32 hours each week. And we want to know how much money does he make in 4 weeks. So that's number of weeks is 4. And we want to find the total money earned. We'll devise a plan. In this case, he makes a certain amount per hour. He works a certain number of hours per week. That's another rate, by the way, 32 hours per 1 week. And then he works for 4 weeks. So we can find that by multiplying the hourly rate by the hours per week by the number of weeks. So multiply wage by hours by weeks. So if we're going to implement that, we're going to take $13.25, multiply that by 32, and multiply it by 4, which gives us $1,696. So in 4 weeks, he makes $1,696. Well, now we get to the common sense part of it. Is that a number that makes sense? Well, one thing we look at and go, well, he made $13.25 an hour. He worked 32 hours a week. So, and he worked for 4 weeks. So he's going to make more than $13.25. And $1,696 is more than $13.25. So that makes sense there. The more hours he works, the more money he makes. The more weeks that he works, the more money he makes. So it does make sense to multiply. And then another part of the common sense in this is $1,696 a reasonable income for 4 weeks of work? 4 weeks is approximately a month. Well, yes, that is a reasonable amount of income for 4 weeks. In fact, he's making a little over minimum wage. And he's working a little less than full-time. So yeah, a monthly income of $1,700, that's reasonable. So common sense tells us, yes, we can work with that. Let's do another example. Larry owns a car rental business. Currently, he has 32 cars and 6 minivans on his lot. What is the ratio of cars to minivans on his lot? Shrink it down again. Remember, Larry owns a car rental business. Currently, he has 32 cars and 6 minivans on his lot. What is the ratio of cars to minivans on his lot? Well, first of all, we're talking about a rate here because cars and minivans are different entities, aren't they? So let's understand the problem. First, he's looking for the ratio of cars to minivans. And as I said, that's a rate. Cars are different from minivans, so this is a rate. So how are we going to find that? Well, let's devise a plan. We're going to, my opinion is, we create a fraction and reduce it. So we're trying to find the ratio of cars to minivans. So we're going to look at the number of cars and the number of minivans. We're going to create a fraction with that, which is a rate or a ratio. And then we'll simplify if possible. So implement the plan. We have 32 cars and 6 minivans. So that's 32 over 6. But I see that 32 and 6 are both even. So I can divide the top and bottom by 2, and I get 16 cars for every 3 minivans. So that's our rate. Now, common sense part of it, we look back and what are we looking for? We're trying to find the ratio of cars to minivans. And there were 32 cars and 6 minivans. So we're finding that there are still more cars than minivans. So that makes sense. And the results fit what we would expect. It's reasonable. If you have 32 and 6, then 16 and 3 makes sense. And 16 is not divisible by 3. There is no other common factor between 16 and 3. So that's as far as we can go. And that's as simple as we can make it.